So why break out of food jail and start an intuitive eating journey? That's what we're going to talk about today, and I'm going to give you some resources to do that. Welcome, I'm Sheri Traxler with ViREO Life, author of Go Forward, 28 Days to Eat, Move, and Enjoy Life God's Way. Today I want to tell you the 10 biggest benefits I have received and research shows for an intuitive eating journey. Your experience, you may end up with even more benefits than this. Let's dive in. Number 1 is that you free your mind for other activities to enjoy life. You're not constantly looking at, calorie counting or carb counting or fat counting or whatever counting, and you get to experience life. That was the benefit I told you about in last week's video when I talked about the dark side of dieting. Number 2 is that you actually increase your metabolism and improve your health. It's been an experience that I have had, and it is an experience that research shows. Number 3, this one's surprising, is that all of that junk food that you are scared if you peep out of food jail and actually break out of food jail, you're just like, I'm going to lose control, I'm going to eat everything, and you actually don't crave junk food anymore. Once you've broken out of food jail, it's like, it's a donut, big deal, it's a brownie, who cares? Another is that you improve your body image. There is less body shaming. I cannot tell you how much better it feels to not be constantly shaming yourself and judging yourself, and to have a better image about yourself, a better self-image. And research shows, and I'm going to be talking about this in another video later more in depth, but research is very clear that dieting alone, regardless of weight, dieting alone decreases a person's self-esteem. Next is better boundaries. You know those food police that look down their little food snob nose at you and are like, oh, you're eating that, you're eating rice, you're eating fruit, whatever their thing is for them that they think is healthy eating. You're setting boundaries now. You don't care what they think. You're judging yourself less, and you are not allowing other people to judge you as much. That leads to the next one, but that's not all in the next one. The next benefit is improving relationships. Part of that is, yes, because you do set better boundaries, but another reason is because you have conversation that's not around food, not negatively around food. It's wonderful to sit around the table and talk about, oh, what was the ingredient you put in this? This is amazing. That's a positive way to discuss food. But relationships that are built, well, they don't build, but relationships that revolve around how many calories are you eating? What diet are you on next? That's not a very deep relationship. I remember in growing up, I was the food police. And we would sit around the table, and I would, especially if we went out to eat, oh, my poor family, I would analyze everything on my plate. Then I would analyze on everything on their plate. Did not make for very good family ties in those moments. Also, you really enjoy your food. If you are eating a brownie, but the whole time you're eating it, you're beating yourself up, you're feeling judgmental, you're thinking, oh, this isn't good that I'm doing this, I'm bad for doing this, you're not really enjoying it, you're not really savoring it. On the other hand, if you're thinking, well, broccoli, I'm going to eat it just because it's good for me, and you're not actually tasting it, it's just fueling your body, you're not enjoying that either. So you're not enjoying brownies, you're not enjoying broccoli, you're just not enjoying your food. As an intuitive eater, I promise you, you learn to enjoy your food. You also learn to meet your real needs, because you no longer have all this drama around food that meets needs. You have to listen in and hear what you really need. Now, This, I'm going to read directly out of another book that I love, Intuitive Eating. This is the one that I'm certified, these dietitians are who I'm certified through. This is it's on page 157 if you happen to have this book. Some of my listeners do have this book now. Meeting your needs without food. Basic needs are often discounted whenever you are in a diet mentality. Once you begin to realize it's important for me to have my needs met and you begin to find ways to meet them, some of these just basic needs, getting rest, getting sensual pleasure, expressing your feelings, being heard, understood, and accepted, being intellectually and creatively stimulated, receiving comfort and warmth. Those are needs. And a lot of times we try to meet them through food when we have a diet mentality. When you break out of food jail, you learn how to really meet these needs. The last two, you improve your peace. Your peace with food, but also peace with yourself and peace with your life. I cannot tell you how good that feels. The other last one is that you increase your sense of self-trust. This relates some to the sense of self-worth, but there's also a sense of I can trust myself. I can trust myself to meet my needs, and I can trust to hear what my needs are, that I'm not just having to depend on a diet or an external rule to tell me what I need. I can trust myself. I can trust the body that God gave me to tell me what it needs, when it needs it, how much it needs, and that I can meet those needs. So those are my personal top 10 benefits to getting out of food jail and getting into intuitive eating. I want to make sure if you are wanting to start this journey, it's Nutrition Month. It's a great time to start the journey of intuitive eating. And if you're not on it, I encourage you to get on it, is resources for books. Obviously, if this is an area that resonates with you, that you say, I really need a coach, a mentor, give me a shout. Sheri at ViREOlife.com. We will chat and see what we can do to help you, because I can help you. However, in the meantime, let's get you some books. This one, of course, I love. Imagine that. Go Forward, 28 Days to Eat, Move, and Enjoy Life God's Way. There's all kinds of intuitive eating stuff in there. This one I've already mentioned, Intuitive Eating, because it is where I'm certified through, and it's a foundational. It's one that it's a step-by-step, not so much a feel-good. Some of these others, boy, you just soak in the concept of mindful eating and intuitive eating and self-care. The Self-Compassion Diet, love that book. This was one that gave me a lot of stats that you have heard me talk about, and really opened my eyes to there are people who really eat this way. This was it wasn't the first, but it was one of the first books. And that is The 7 Secrets of Slim People. Another one, Skinny Thinking. Healing Your Relationship with Food. This is another one that you just soak in. And she is a great storyteller. If you love reading stories on this, she's a wonderful storyteller. Mindful Eating. This is a fun one because it has all kinds of little practices that you can try just to help you break out of your normal, rote, mindless eating pattern or diet mentality pattern. And that is Eating the Moment. And then last is another favorite. French Women Don't Get Fat. Those are books I highly recommend. Get started with them and give me a shout. Let's talk about this, because you need to be out of food jail and into intuitive eating. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to subscribe and click that notification bell, because all this month we're talking about eating well, living well, and I look forward to seeing you next time. And until then, find your path and fulfill your potential.